This is where you begin to see the devastation here in Tuscaloosa. Out to our left here in the aircraft is where the tornado began to really touch down, and you see the damage it did almost immediately. Look at these industrial buildings off here to our left. And you see the first emergency, the first responders gathering today to try and make sense of what to do. But this business here to our left is completely gone. As we move farther up, look at this apartment complex. This is the public housing complex right here as we move farther, heading east now in a generally east direction. And you begin to see the unbelievable devastation. People out there today trying to make sense of what happened and trying to put their lives back together, and there is just hardly anything left to put back together. What can they do? They're trying to figure it out as this unbelievable scene unfolds. The sun rises and the hope almost diminishes even further. We're heading up here towards McFarland, towards University Mall. And University Mall basically spared the worst of the damage because the tornado was about a half of a block. Look here, if you can see, Alan, as you pan down here, there is a bank right here on the outside of the mall. The roof of it is gone. But look just across the parking lot, the mall relatively unscathed. That's the amazing part about this. Again, is the closeness, the proximity to those winds. Imagine being in there yesterday, being told to hunker down. If you're on one of the upper floors, what could you do? If you hunker down on the second floor there is no second floor in that first section of the apartment buildings there. Just very, very, very fortunate if you're able to escape that alive. So if you think about the terror of this going through and then wanting help, certainly if you're injured or wanting help just to get out from this devastated area, it was going to be hard for first responders to get back here. And certainly it's taken a long time for them to be able to do that. And because these access roads were blocked. Look at this neighborhood here off to the left of the aircraft. These are relatively new homes, nice homes. This is a newer development. And as you move down the street, you begin to see the progression of damage. First is some shingles, then it's the whole roof. As the tornado continued to move through Jefferson County past Pleasant Grove, it headed to the Pratt City area. Cherry Avenue and Highway 78, that intersection beginning to move up to the north. Just incredible devastation there. An apartment complex hit, lots of homes hit. We were there last night on the ground. There was a gas leak and hundreds of people moving out of there, moving to a temporary home at the Boutwell Auditorium. That's where they're sheltering now, waiting to find out how they can begin to rebuild. The devastation amazing in the Pratt City area. These folks have experienced tornado damage before, they said, but nothing like this. Bethel Baptist Church, a landmark in this neighborhood, and you can see it now. You can see the pulpit from the air. That sanctuary roof destroyed. Much of the building, the classroom space is gone as well. Thankfully, we're told no one injured at that church building, but there were major injuries in the Pratt City area, and from the air, you can see why. Here in downtown Coleman, the wind strength really picked up just as it hit the main drag here. You see this looks like it used to be a cell tower, just drooping over, melted by the winds here almost, as it hit the back of the First Baptist Church, a major landmark here in downtown Coleman, as well as the county courthouse right across the street from it. And if you look at both of those, many portions of them are gone. The top half of the county courthouse here on the far side, that roof is completely gone. Hopefully nobody was in the upper floors there as the winds dragged through downtown Coleman. This obviously looks like, to me, perhaps an F2, F3 tornado. Thankfully, traffic is moving okay, certainly, but hopefully nobody was on that main drag yesterday as the winds came through. Beyond downtown, look at this. This is where the wind strength is really just hard to even describe as I'm looking at it here from the air, a couple of 100 feet up in Chopper 6. The winds picked up, going right through downtown Coleman on a path towards the lake, and as they did, they took houses, roofs, shingles, maybe a couple of lives with them. The irony of Mother Nature is that often the day after a devastating storm is some of the prettiest and sunniest weather you could ever hope for. That's the case today. That gives us these great aerial views because of the sun today. Ironically, for the folks who were damaged by the storms yesterday, it's only more light to see the damage, the devastation that has happened to them. But hopefully, this weather holds up so that they can begin to recover from what we have been able to see here from Chopper 6. Reporting from Chopper 6, Jonathan Hardison, Fox 6 News, on your side.